told you I could make a significant connection between Abraham Lincoln, Alex Rodriguez, and Shirley Temple, I bet you wouldn't believe me. But the truth is, and what many of you may not know, is that these diverse people are all members of the GOP. Much to my surprise, there are those among us, and even some in this very classroom, who don't even know what the letters GOP stand for. If you find yourself falling into that category, no worries. We're going to cover that today. We will discuss and inform you about the GOP. Short for Grand Old Party, the GOP represents one of two major political parties in the United States. Whether you are a Democrat, Republican, or neither, it is important for our generation to become more involved in understanding the political process of our country. Because I am personally an active member of the GOP, along with the majority of my family members, I will be able to share with you my knowledge of the group's rich history, its core values and principles, and even some fun and interesting facts. Let's begin by exploring the rich history of the GOP. The Grand Old Party, or GOP, refers to the present-day Republican Party. According to historian Dale Anderson, the party was formed in the 1850s, when the issue of slavery was splitting the United States and fracturing the political parties. Out of the wreckage of the old party system, the new Republican Party came from the ashes. They took shape, and right off the bat, the Republicans took a firm stance against slavery and pushed for new laws to build the American economy. In 1860, Abraham Lincoln was the first Republican president elected to the Republican Party, which led the party to becoming a main force in American politics. The Republican National Convention's website lists other key historical moments that can define the Grand Old Party. During the Civil War, President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation that freed the slaves. The Republicans of the day worked to pass the 13th Amendment, which outlawed slavery, the 14th Amendment, which gave equal protection under the laws, and the 15th Amendment, which helped secure voting rights for the African Americans. But the African Americans' rights were not the only ones that were protected. The Republicans worked to ensure the rights of women and gave them voting rights, as well as the first party to favor women's suffrage. The presidents during most of the late 19th century and the early part of the 20th century were Republicans. The White House was in Republican hands under President Eisenhower, Nixon, Ford, Reagan, and Bush. Under the last two, Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush, the United States became the world's best superpower, winning the Cold War from the old Soviet Union and releasing millions from communist oppression. Now that we've discussed the rich history of the Republican Party, let's look at some of its interesting facts and some of its origins. We'll start with the term GOP and where it originated. We'll start with how the term came about. According to GOP.com, the term dates back to the 1870s and 80s. Party faithfuls thought it meant the Grand Old Party, but apparently the original meaning was found in 1875, which meant Gallant Old Party. And when automobiles were invented, it also came to mean get out and push, which is still a wise slogan in the Republican Party today because of the highly dependent on people to get out and vote and push for supporting parties' causes. Another interesting fact about the GOP is its longtime symbol, the elephant. According to William Safire's New Language of Politics, the symbol of the elephant was created by Thomas Nast, a famous illustrator and caricaturist from the New Yorker. In 1874, a rumor that animals had escaped from the New York City Zoo was matched with worries surrounding a possible third-term run-in by President Ulysses S. Grant. Nast chose to represent the Republicans as elephants because elephants were clever, steadfast, and controlled when calm, yet unmanageable when frightened. Another very interesting fact about the Republican Party was found in a CBS News article. According to their research, after the 2000 elections, the color red became associated with the GOP. Although this color hasn't been technically taken on by the Republican Party and endorsed, the election night for the first time, brought all major broadcast networks to use the same color scheme for the electoral map. States won by Republican nominee George W. Bush were covered in red, where states were covered in blue for Al Gore. Although the assignment of colors to political parties is unofficial and informal, they have come to be widely recognized by the media and the public to represent the respective political parties. Now we've discussed the interesting history of the GOP and gained new interesting facts about the party. You may be wondering if this party is right for you. Republicans have a long, rich history grounded in these basic principles. Individuals, not government, can make the best decisions. All people are entitled to equal rights, and decisions are best made close to the home. So in conclusion, if you believe the strength of our nation lies with the individual and that each person's dignity, freedom, ability, and responsibility must be honored, you would have the ideals of a Republican. If you're interested about finding more information about becoming a member of the GOP, you can visit their website at gop.com. Thank you.
Carly, that was